Everybody, my name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with keto under 10 total carbs. That's how I do it every single day. And it just keeps me sane. Because if this is sane, then the rest of it goes pretty darn cool, including what I eat. I eat one meal a day between 2:30 and 3:30. And it's I don't know, I don't push away from the table feeling stuffed and yucky and, bloated and food coma and all that. It's a nice substantial meal, and it usually ends up about 1,000 to 1,100 calories during the day. I have 2 to 3 cups of coffee with 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in it, and I call it a fatty fast. I do intermittent fasting. I don't eat for the other 24 hours, or sometimes when I eat, it's like 30 to 45 minutes for me to enjoy my meal. I don't eat like it's my last supper or it's my first supper after 2 weeks without supper. I just take it nice and slow, try to be conscious of every single bite and how delicious it is. It just works for me. Now, I got a question for you. She says, tongue in cheek, have you ever said, "This time it'll be different"? I mean it this time. I'm never, or I'm always, fill in the blank. A lot of us have done that. Most of us have done that. In fact, if you've never done that, I want you to comment below for sure, because most of us have had those times when it's like, I can't do this one more time. I can't think that I can fill in the blank, eat, fill in the blank, those things without permission ever again. And it's probably true, but did it happen again? It might have. Sometimes we need to have a governor, as it were, on our food plan and on our way of eating, because sometimes there is nobody at the wheel. My food addict has a name, and her name is Ms. Slick, and that's exactly what she is. She will insert herself in the driver's seat. Many of you have heard me say that sane, food sober Sarah is driving. I don't know why, but it is. It's a white Honda, and it's a brand new one, of course, in my fantasy. And so I'm driving that, and I got Ms. Slick next to me. Now, I don't have the GPS on in my car. I've got her with one of those little mini LED flashlights and a map. And she only wants to take me into bad food neighborhoods. That's all her purpose is that she wants to get me into trouble. She's like that in that ad for some prescription where the cute little woman with the red bouncy curly hair has a bodysuit on where it's like all the intestines and stuff, and she's making the owner of her body absolutely crazy with tough tummy stuff, and only wants to see her get into trouble. That's what Ms. Slick is like. She wants to see me fail. I don't know why. It's just her mission in life to get me to eat sugars and grains and artificial sweeteners and diet sodas and keto-fied things. And she is just, she's on a mission. She's in the front seat with the map to the bad neighborhood with the LED flashlight. And in the back is the little girl, and my nickname was Sally growing up. So Sally's in the back seat without any car seat, doesn't have her seatbelt on. She's just a muck, and she just wants any fast food restaurant. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. If it's nighttime, you know those franchises, and if it's daytime, you know those drive-thrus, and that's all she wants. She wants to hear at the end of the meal that paper bag being crumbled, because to her, that's home cooking, even if it's in the back seat of the car. And of course, the back seat of the car is trashed with spilled sodas and bags of things and spilt over sugary barbecue sauce and all kinds of bad things. And nobody's taking care of that person. Is that person in the back seat like my little Sally, 2 or 3 years old, and just needs a governor on her? Is that how you're conducting your life? Well, who's driving? Who's driving your car of food recovery? You know, it's like we can just go insane with it and just not have any care in the world about what we are doing. And it's just it's terribly sad, and we've all probably done it at some point. The more clarity that you have about your issues and your foods and what it takes to be you, the better off, of course, you will be. And for some of us, it means strict, strict, strict. We can't go about doing what we used to do. So we weigh, we measure, we track on our chronometer. And that would be me. And if you're one of my clients, that would be you doing it. And it's just a way of pulling behaviors and food choices all on this nice little app where good things come out of it. Just awareness and better choices. You know, I have a BBC, Better Bad Choice acronym, and it's the best we can do under the conditions. Say you forgot to bring your cute little glass baby food jar, leak proof, with you to the restaurant with your choice of salad dressing. My salad dressings is macadamia nut oil with Fourth and Heart ghee melted into that. And I do it on top of the toaster oven when I'm heating my plates. And so I know that I can pour that on my salad. It's weighed, it's measured, and it's my choices. I'm not having restaurant salad dressings or commercial bottles if I'm at somebody else's house. I just know the ingredients. And you know, there's a lot of devil in little ingredients in those sort of things. And so it's just making better choices. If you're a mayonnaise person, it's choosing a mayonnaise that's not made with canola oil or soybean oil. I never got into mayonnaise, otherwise I would have had much more weight to lose, I'm sure, because I've gotten into peanut butter. So I know that spoon in the jar thing. But yeah, mayonnaise is another dangerous thing. Always turn it over and read it. I know some people like the primal, and I know it's expensive, but it still offers perhaps the ingredients that are best suited to you. And if you only have, like if you mix 1 tablespoon of the primal salad dressing with 1 tablespoon of EVU or macadamia nut oil or avocado oil, you know, it lasts a long, long time. So if it's $10 for the bottle and it's whatever, it could last you, you know, almost a month. And that's worth it to me to have something nice like that. And so we just make better choices. And so that little girl in the back gets a little TLC, tender, loving care, and better food choices. You know, when I raised 2 sons, and at one point I had 8 stepchildren. They weren't all living under the same roof with us, though. But yeah, it wasn't an easy task. And I thought I was cooking healthy. It was kind of standard American diet. You know, there were some poorer than other choices. And you know, I could take a beef stew that was relatively benign with poor ingredients, and then add some sides to it, and then that DESSERT at the end, and really screw up any day. But we do what we can do. When I was in Weight Watchers, I probably did a lot of metabolic damage thinking I was being healthy and losing weight, because there were free fruits and even free vegetables. And I have a whole lot less vegetables today at 68 doing keto for the last 4 or 5 years than I ever did. I always thought the answer was in the veggies. And so I have under 10 total carbs. Usually that is just the veggies, unless I'm having something like a cheese, you know, a cheese omelet or a cheese little, that little cassolette that I make. And that's always good too. But there's cheeses, you know, like if I have ricotta or something like that. So, but usually it is just the veggies in the 10 total carbs that I have every day. And I do it because I could get slippery. If I'm not weighing, if I'm not measuring, and I'm not tracking, I have another symptom of being a compulsive overeater, food addict, is I have portion distortion. And, you know, I will take that 4-ounce piece of fish. Are you there? Are you there? I know I put you there. That doesn't seem like a lot, does it? And I would put that on a plate if I was weighing and measuring, and I would have some semblance. Now that I have one meal a day, I have more protein in that one meal. But yeah, if I wasn't weighing or measuring, suddenly, that 4-ounce piece of salmon would be 10 ounces of salmon. And salmon, there's worse things to eat than 10 ounces of salmon, but you get the idea. It could get dangerous and slippery and very portion distortion for me in no time. And especially with things like heavy whipping cream in my coffee and the macadamia nut oil on my salad. Those two places are very dangerous. So I always measure grams when I pour out the liquid fat, either into my coffee or on top of my salad. I just have to do that. That's all there is to it. And when I have my version of a taco salad, which is really meat, sour cream, oil, and lettuce, no salsa, no guac. I seem to have lost my taste for those things, which is good. I also, when I'm squeezing out the sour cream, the Daisy sour cream squeezable thing, I always measure in grams for the sour cream as well. So I know my slippery slopes. What are your slippery slopes that you have to be mindful of? I'm sure if I get my coffee someplace else and ask them to make it for me, that's a slippery slope too. You need to be careful. But I don't. I make my coffee at home. I have the Vita Cup, or I have organic coffee, Peak Performance I get from Amazon. The Vita Cup I get, and Paul Newman Organic French Roast. So I try to stick to organic coffees. Vita Cup isn't organic, but it has the B vitamins in it. And so that's how I do it. And I enjoy my keto foods. I never get tired. I never get bored. I'm a repeat, not offender, but I'm a repeater of meals. If I like something, I could have it 2 or 3 days in a row and not get tired of it. I am like that. And so that's how it goes for me. I like my foods. I like cooking. It's very simple cooking. I don't get into fancy sauces or spices. I like the taste of the meat or the salad. I love macadamia nut oil flavor on my salad. So I'm happy and content with that. I don't need to spice something from here to there just to get a different flavor. I'm not easily bored. I'm probably more easily comforted by having the same thing, every week or two, the same rotation. It just works for me. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you are plugging into your food programs, whatever they are, however you do them, and you're just aware, just being aware of what it is that you put in your body. It just works when you're aware and conscientious, and don't let all those voices around you or watching all those videos that you get swayed, that you can just stay in your lane and just be safe and get the good tips, the takeaways from different people that you listen to, me, others. There's thousands of us out there now, and just take what works. Keep it safe. Keep your food safe and satiating, because you don't ever want to be hungry, as Mike says. Don't let yourself get hungry. And that's the cowboy from Keto Mad, my buddy Mike. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. KetoCoachingSarah.com if you're in trouble and you want just a little putting back in order. And I will see you the next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.